Hello and welcome to the new video. And today we will be talking about a very special subject which is known as Pythagorean numerology. Greatest mathematician we know, Pythagoras. The Pythagorean numerology comes from there. He was a Greek mathematician and a geometer. And he was one kind of a person who understood numbers in a very different aspect and areas. How to define them, how to utilize them, let it be as a mathematician, let it be as a numerologist. Pythagorean is a widespread being in the world itself, known as the modern numerology. The Pythagorean is there is another numerology which is called Chaldean, right? Very common, in which in India especially people are out, okay, we can change their names. Basically, it's a mystic numerology as we call it in Western, which talks about the changing its name, adding alphabets as a gimmick and all. I do not consider them in a very strong way at any point of time, but still people follow it, right? Everybody has its own perspective. That's a school of thought. That is basically for Chaldean. But in Pythagoras, it said if you're born with a name, that's your destiny. You change it, you don't change it. The initial name which you were born, the vibrations of that name are the most important. So today, for an example, my name is Akshat Kapoor, and I edit my name from K double S double S double I double T and Kapoor. I add anything of that sorts. Chaldean may have its another meaning, which I again defy because what we say is what we energize. So, for an example, my name. So, I do not haven't amended my name, but apparently, supposedly, I've amended my name from because it's a very negative name as per Chaldean, right? Akshat, if I take it comes out to 16, so it says one day Prince and one day Papa, that's the 16 name number. So if I have to change it to one, so what would I do? Double AK double SHIT, right? This is something which comes from to the 19. Why? Because S has a vibration of 3. So that is another topic we may discuss later. So, but understand when we talk about it, AK double SHIT, so I'm changing my name to 19. But is it making a difference? No, it's not making a difference for a very simple reason because I'm still saying it Akshat. I cannot, Akshat is nothing like that. It can never be like that. It's called Akshat. So your pronunciation never changes. So changing, adding alphabets, removing them doesn't make a very major change at any point of time. Whereas Pythagorean says if you're a KSHIT, it's Akshat. Because Pythagorean has a very different methodology to explain numbers. Pythagorean typically says you have to consider the name you were born with. AKSHIT has its own area of meanings. A has a meaning, so it's called cornerstone, whatever your first alphabet is. Capstone is your last alphabet. So whatever your alphabet is, A, K, S, H, I, T, every alphabet its own name, every alphabet its own numbers, and it is being calculated like that. What alphabet is running, progressing in that year? So we'll talk about it very later, not in this video, maybe in another video. I'll surely teach you but how to see that. But understand today, just understand the crux out of it. If I'm calculating that, so it calculates on AKSHIT. It doesn't take any mix of the names. So I know many people who have edited the names. Well, if supposedly I'm taking my example, I will not quote anybody else today. AKSSHIT. So if I'm doing it at Chaldean, it doesn't make any difference because it's just taking as a compound number of Akshat as 40 as 19, right? But as I see Pythagorean, it has its own meaning of difference of calculating the names as in numbers, but it doesn't say about the name change. It talks about what is the quality of the names, what is the quality of that alphabets, and how that alphabet is affecting you at that point of time, at that year, what is it is talking about. It is more important. That's the reason I always say Pythagorean numerology is more accurate or is more practical in terms of any other numerology as we see in the market because it has each and every calculation. So when people say you need to know astrology to take out times, Pythagorean says you know the name, you just know the date of birth, it is more than sufficient. You don't need anything else. I can calculate each and every day for you. I can calculate your past, present, and future. That is how Pythagorean is connected. Because again, there's another formula talking about Sheldon where it says, okay, personal year, personal month, that's it. But every personal year will be different for everybody else. Pythagorean has its own working for personal year, personal month. There is another area for that. Understanding is Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, like that. Because just it's not just the name; it has many other areas. Let it be clinical challenges, let it be triad, let it be essences, let it be the whole name of talking about it. So many other different things. So let it be its own grid, which is very useful, and people use it for the names as well. How the names are affecting you and whatnot. So today I'll be just talking very basics about it. Okay, what is the major difference? As I just told you, Sheldon is just about how to manipulate your name. Manipulate may be a wrong word, how to change your alphabets and all. But Pythagorean doesn't talk about it. Pythagorean says you are born with a name. That's not an accident. Your name is not an accident. That's the correct line when you talk about Pythagorean, right? So you're born with it. You have to have those energies at any point of time. It's positive, it's negative. It doesn't talk about it. For it, the seven is not negative, as many numerologists say 4, 7, and 8 are negative numbers. Pythagorean never talks about it. Pythagoras is very neutral about it. He has no problems with Rahu, Ketu, and Shani for that matters. He's perfectly okay. And I also say that, so let it be Sheldon, let it be Vedic also doesn't support ke 4, 7, and 8 are negative. People today make it a point ke they are counting 4, 7, 8 as negative. I have never ever say that. Pythagorean says whatsoever your birth number, destiny number is, and if they are friendly to each other, that's good. If they are not, it's okay. That's your karmas. That's what it talks about. You can do some basic remedies out of it to pacify it, nothing else. He says, whatsoever you are born with, you have to deal with it. That's the basic answer towards the Pythagorean numerology. All right. So let's first talk about how to calculate alphabets in Pythagorean. It's most simple. Write it down like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just write down the legs as simple as I'm sorry, I'm writing my name. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Simple. That's how it calculates. Sheldon has its own. There's JYAIQ, VKR, CGLS. It's not a Pythagorean. It's as simple as that. Because Sheldon, basically, when I talk about it, Sheldon has its own. It came from the Babylonian, so it has it. They understand the vibration of the numbers out there. Pythagoras says the numbers are there as its own format, 1 to 9. You have to follow that. So it says AJS comes under 1, BKT comes under 2, CLU comes under 3, DMV comes under 4, W comes under 5, FOX comes under 6, GPY comes under 7, HQ 8, and IRR comes under 9. Basic. You don't remember anything, just add 1 to 9 and start writing alphabets. It's as simple as that. You don't need to memorize it, just understand the concept, you will be able to do it. So for an example, now I calculate my own name. A, K, S, H, I, and T. So what does it say? It says A is what? 1. What does K talk about? K talks about true. What does S talk about? S talks about 1. What does H talk about? H talks about 8. What does I talks about? 9. And what does T talk about? T talks about 2. So what will be the total? 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4 plus 8, 12 plus 9, 21 plus 2, 23. Correct. Coming to this 23, very important. Pythagorean. Now, Pythagorean gave this concept of master numbers. Many people must be knowing it or not. The master number theory is supposedly, if I'm calculating this, supposedly very basic. And my name didn't come to 22, 23, it came to 22. Right. So this 23 is said to be, I am a name number 5. This is Pythagorean simple. But it would have come to 22, so I cannot add 2 plus 2, 4. It is 22. Any number which comes to 11, 22, 33, and so on are called master numbers. What are master numbers? We'll talk about it later, but understand as of now, these are master numbers. And there's something called karmic numbers, 13, 14, 16, and 19 are called karmic numbers. What are those? We'll talk about in details in upcoming videos. But understand this. So it came up to 23 is equal to 5. Simple. It would have, if it would have been coming to 22, so it would have been a master number. That's it. That's what Pythagorean talks about. And I said one thing very clearly. There's something called cornerstone. So what is my cornerstone? My cornerstone is A. A has its own vibrations. What A talks about in your name and everywhere else. So we may understand that. That is very important. Okay. Now continuing again. So now when I mentioned every alphabet has its own valuation, right? So let's talk about that. So general. So what does A talk about? What is the meaning of A? When I said the cornerstone caption I was talking about, right? So what if my name is starting from A? So my cornerstone is A. So it is said it is a very powerful as the first letter of the name. People are there of their own. They surely know what's going on and they are very ambitious, original and creative people. They have their own ideas as best. Right? As somebody who has a cornerstone A, you can certainly say these things about a person. As it comes to B, it is always said they are prone to sensitivity and must be careful not to take things very personally. It is very important, right? To be happy, B people need togetherness and companionship. That is about letter B. When we talk about letter C, it says Lucky number, lucky letter, indicating strong instincts. Letter C expresses themselves clearly and can be enthusiastic and entertaining, right? They are also not afraid to wear their hearts on their sleeve and tell how they feel about the other people. So they can say their heart out at any point of time. When we talk about letter D, these people are solid as rock and tend to be hard workers, determined, grounded, and very practical. They don't waste time or money. Very practical when we talk about it, right? So just generally, I would just like to tell you about there are different theories existing how the placements can affect the meaning of the letters. So, like it be the first place, second place, third place, fourth place. Some numerologists also believe the meaning of the letter has a great significance when it is the first letter of your first, middle of the last name, as I said, the cornerstones and all. So it is very important. While other numerologists place greater importance on the first vowel in your name, I also personally believe that each and every letter is important part of the whole. So the cornerstones and capstones is important, but each and every alphabet, it will be A, K, S, H, I, T in my name. All of them hold the total importance. A is the most important, then as so on. This is a very long topic. We'll talk about it. But just in general, just try to understand this, right? So where were we? We were back to letter E, right? So D we have done. We'll talk about E. This letter is for activity, restlessness, or uncertainty. E people are powerful and have a strong desire for freedom and fun. The more excitement, the better. It is said for letter E. E for elephant. When we talk about letter F, it is said good host who are easy to get along with. F people are self-sacrificing and very responsible at the point, right? When we talk about letter G, visionaries who have an analytical ability to see details in the bigger picture, often avid readers, they make patient teachers and intellectually active personalities. When we talk about letter H, sometimes emotional yet to be able to listen their own inner voice. H people are alert, aware, and watchful as well. Letter I, when we talk about people are intense, insiguate, and able to interpret conditions and event in an intelligent way. Because they feel deeply, I people are compassionate, generous, and loving people also, right? So when we talk about letter J, what does J say? Simply put, J is for justice, fair play, and balancing. The scales is in their names for the game for them. Friendship is their forte, and J people make exceptional friends for themselves at in their life. Letter K, it is said to be a very psychic, enlightened, and intuitive kind of a letter. K people often blessed with excellent memories and power of concentration in their life. Letter L, lively, vital, and powerful. The letter L indicates a healthy, honest, and tolerant individuals who are generous and kind-hearted, social, and capable of sacrifices. L people like their work to be useful and capable of leadership to that of the end. A dedicated high energy worker who likes to see the task to completion. M people fit well into structured environments. I've seen many, I've observed in many of the cases like that. Letter N, the creative or original individuals who are able to think outside the box. They have a strong willed personality with opinions to match, and people also tend to document their lives in written form, sometimes in general or in the diary format. Then we talk about letter O, self-contained, sensitive, and able to control their emotions. People need to be careful not to appear self-centered to others. That is very important for letter O. When we talk about letter P, people are intellectual with broad base of knowledge. Through they can often be secretive. Others generally have a great impression of them as well. That is for letter P. As I said, you the first letter of your name comes out to be as the cornerstone provides insight into your overall personality. It can indicate how you approach life's ups and downs. So letter P, when I said that, I've always seen there people are always very inwardly lazy kind of a personality. Also, P as a cornerstone, inwardly lazy is one thing what you can talk about it. Letter Q, Queen, not a very common alphabet in when we start Indian names, but still they're seekers and searchers who ask innumerable questions and have a good reasoning skills. However, they can become too deeply wedded to their own ideas. That is about the letter Q. When we talk about R, energetic, exacting, and thorough. R people can be perfectionists to the point those around them become annoyed by their behavior. So exceptionally, they work upon the letter out there. So when we talk about it, R, Mr. Perfectionist, the first name which comes in my mind is Amir Khan has an R. So yes, this quality goes with him. There are other numbers to it. We'll discuss about it, but yes, just in general, just understand this. Sorry. Letter S, real charmers with a lot of warmth and devotion because they possess a kind of nature. They are able to work well with others, especially. It's a very good letter for that. Letter T, attentive, thoughtful, and conscientious, and sometimes quiet. However, they can be assertive when pushed. Conflicts between the desires for peace and around them, and have their own way. They are uncertain while standing alone. So they are not loners. They need that company with them. Letter U, their expression in their field of interest, they also tend to internalize their feelings and emotions. You people need to tap into their inevitable senses of time and luck to think quickly on their feet and commit wholeheartedly to their own projects and their own workings. When we talk about V for Vastulogy, intuitive alphabet, we people are tuned to the universe and get answers from the on high. Have vivid imaginations, therefore, they need to make sure that they're able to separate facts from fictions. Letter W. People compromise, sorry. W people comprise many different experiences and are recognized as willing, spontaneous, outgoing, and versatile kind of a personality. Letter X. See, Q, X, and Z are not very common in Indian names. Thriving on information extracted from books and other sources, X people tend to have a photographic memory, soaking up information like sponge soaks up moisture as well. Letter Y, they love their freedom and enjoy pushing that the envelope. They tend to be active, but with a carefree, easy does it approach. Sometimes faced with forks in the road, the Y people need to use their natural gifts of intuition while pondering which route to follow in life. Letter Z, the last letter. It's a very strong letter and is common in people who have power over others. While Z people can have temper, they quickly recover from blow-ups and forget, and move forward for them. Right? This is the most important area when we talk about a corner store or we talk about the personalities of alphabets. So you need to understand this. This is utterly helpful. This will be how to decode a name. This is that important in any aspect. This was for today. I'll be talking about the numbers, which are very important, and that will be starting about the numbers from 1 to 9, the karmic numbers and master numbers in detail, how to utilize them, how to see them, and many other things. There'll be a lot of videos coming up for Pythagorean Numerology in coming days. So stay tuned. If you like this video, please support me. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. That will be helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a nice day.